Euahlayi country's in the dead centre of the northern basin in the Murray-Darling, and so the biggest impact, I think, that climate change is impacting our country is obviously through drought, through prolonged drought. So over the last 20 years, we've had 2 really significant droughts, and you can see the pine behind us, the native cypress pine, that the last drought has taken care of that and destroyed it all. So hotter summers, less rainfall, both here and generally in the basin as well. It really presents a very real threat, I guess, to our country. I think the greatest resilient trait, I guess the greatest kind of protective factor that our people have, like all Aboriginal people around Australia, is each other. So we just kind of come together and support each other. We are people and peoples who have lived through climate change on this continent before. People have stories of that. We've got stories of climate change events and changing landscape out here. And so, from those stories we know that our people have lived through it before, have persevered and come out much richer on the other side. And I think now, whilst a threat to the way we know and enjoy our cultural livelihoods at the moment, there's opportunity for us to come together once more and to support each other through this time and sort of just make sure we bring our kids on that journey as well, make sure they see it, because they're going to see the impacts of climate change much longer than we are.
I don't think that one worked. Can I have another one?
So we've got our midden over there, look.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Make you want to do the pippy dance.
Yeah.
They coming next.
New site. New site there.
That is? Enough for you?
You should every time you go on that one.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dharriwaa.
Some tribes got different stories. And he made it this far. You notice he only got 3 legs. They wounded him when they found him in the river. They chased him this far. Some tribes said they killed him here. But some old friends of mine said they killed him in the Barwon River. And he went down one of the springs here and they knew where he was going to surface. So that wherever they killed him, they got the 2 girls out and laid them on the ant bed. That's Dreamtime story of the old people, and brought them back to life. And down on the river there is a big ant hill down there.
So as we know, the Narran River,
Yeah.
It's a windy river. So when them 2 wives were taken by those crocodiles, Worimi came back and his wives weren't there, and he realised the crocodiles have taken his wives. But he had to stop and think. How am I going to catch up to these crocodiles? They're ahead of me. So what he thought about was the river being windy. So he cut across the bends of the river, straight across. So that got him out in front of the crocodiles to rescue his wives. But the story that Al told, there's lessons in these stories. Buragu, we call our stories, our dreaming stories. To stop and think about circumstances, not go straight into things and rush into things where things can go wrong. But also, the relationship with men and women, looking after one another. He was worried about his wives, so he hunted those crocodiles down to get his wives back. Me and Jeff Simpson was here one day, and Jeff said, get the tape there, sis. We're going to do a crocodile. And so we had picked up some sticks around. We never drew anything. We just went with where that tape was taking us. And this is where this crocodile came to be. But we didn't realise the crocodile, or Dharriwaa, was facing to where Cuddy Springs is, where those giant megafauna bones were found. While we're using the stones, like doing stone arrangements out here, like you were up at Engledool the other day, there were stone arrangements there from our old people. So we're carrying on the tradition of stone arrangements. So that's why this crocodile or Gharria is here today, so we can carry on those teachings and for our young people, so they can carry on the teaching and so forth. So I think, do we leave the culture in the past and not grow with it? Or do we pick up and continue our culture by doing stone arrangements like we have here with Gharria? So that was the purpose of this crocodile, and to tell our story and use it as a teaching tool. So the stones we ask you to pick up or an object, if you can place that wherever around the crocodile or Gharria, maybe a blessing while you place that object around the stone arrangement or on the stone arrangement. We want you to leave your spirit here with us, or part of your spirit here with us. So you will always be a part of this country with us. And as much as we go with you in spirit, with country to your country. So when you place that object or stone down or shell or whatever, or for yourself, your family, or for country out here, or just a beautiful thought, to leave something positive and with our Gharria, our country, and you'll always be a part of this country by placing that stone or object here on Gharria, and you'll stay with us. A part of your spirit will stay with us. Thank you.
Climate change is real. I think being here and being a 50-year-old male on my country and learning from my elders for a long period of time and having that opportunity to continue to come here over that 50-year period, you know, like I might have known the early parts of my life, but certainly when I was starting to be 7 and recognising why my grandparents and my uncles and aunties brought me out here, you can still see that big change that is occurring on this place. You know, like the water in particular. It's incredible how much water has left this beautiful lake. We don't have a great deal of control. There's no regulated river here. We can't turn a tap on, and certainly some of those global type of trends of landscapes are getting drier. It's a worry when you've got a place that's solely depending on water to come in and do its business here. And we have seen in the last 10 to 15 years availability of water decrease. It's a real challenge when you've got landscapes that are drying out, and because not only the droughts are getting longer and harder and hotter, that sort of whole process again exacerbates the delivery of water into this place. When my son was born 12 years ago, Narran only filled a couple of times, and through that period we're sitting on this beautiful shell midden here. This shells and the mussels need a couple of years to grow, and when the water comes in it dries up too quickly. So in that period that he's turned into a young man, I have not had the opportunity to harvest the mussels to add to these beautiful middens up here and teach him his culture. So that's not only cultural genocide, that's a process whereby I can't continue to pass on what I've learnt. So there's climate change impact, but there's so much cultural impacts in amongst that. And not only the impacts to water, it's also the vegetation in here. You see those birds not appearing, not having those big opportunities to nest, but also, I can't harvest those eggs. I don't have that opportunity to do that or pass that knowledge on. So the impacts are real for Aboriginal people, and I think it hits a bit harder when you know that you rely on that country to provide you with the resources that it's had done for millennia.